Hey guys, it's Mr. Wilson. I'm supposed to wear a mask in here, but for this video I won't. I'm going to talk about how to put your green screen up on your wall. There are lots of different ways you can do it. One is, if you can, tack it. If you have tacks or something and your wall can take tacks, but ask your parents or guardians. You can also use clips, but what I'm going to use is painter's tape. And painter's tape is good because if you use painter's tape, it won't take the paint off the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and put my green screen up using painter's tape, and I'll use a lot. Now, one of the things about the green screen is if there are any things like this, if it's not taut, it's not going to be that good. It needs to be even. You should try not to have any shadows, and so I'm going to make it as taut as possible. So I'm going to also tape the sides to kind of make it taut. Okay, now that looks pretty good. One of the things also about a green screen is you want it to be as evenly lit as possible. You want it to be consistently green across the whole thing as much as you can. Now we're going to be using ambient lighting, all of us.
Ambience is a noun which means the character and atmosphere of a place. If a restaurant has nice lighting, music, and mood, you would say it had good ambience, or ambiance if you want to sound fancy, which is a thing or a noun, ambience. Ambient is an adjective which describes or modifies the character and atmosphere of a place. So ambient lighting is the natural lighting of a particular place. While professional film and video productions use lights to make sure the image looks good, we probably do not have that option. So we need to make sure our ambient lighting is as good as possible. Always try to light your shots as well as possible using ambient lighting.
So one of the things you should do is really try to be in a well-lit room. This is pretty well lit. One of the things you can do is shoot near a window. A window, if you can get to a window, that's going to give you lots of good light.
The window should be pointing its light at the green screen, not behind it. Light behind what we are shooting will give us backlighting, which will usually ruin our shots.
This is an example of backlighting. I'm very dark because I'm backlit. We don't want this. If it's really dark and you need to, when you put the keyer on it, you see it doesn't work very well, you need to light it a little bit better probably. Get some lamps if you possibly can. Another thing, you don't want to stand too close to it, because if you stand too close to it and you cast shadows, the shadows also will be visible. So if you have the room, you don't want to stand right up against it, you want to stand a little bit further out. You also want to make sure that the green screen fills the frame. For example, if on WeVideo, I keyed myself out right now like this, as you can see, the walls above the green screen, that's not keyed out. And unfortunately in WeVideo, we cannot crop. We cannot crop. Now, if in your phone you can crop it, that's great. You might be able to crop it within your phone, but the best thing to do would be to fill the frame with the green like this. So I've pretty much filled the frame with green, so if I key it now like this, I should have total green screen coverage. Okay, so this would look good. So if I key it now with the whole green covered on the frame, it should look good like this. I don't have any of those walls showing above or to the sides. Now this would be a pretty good establishing shot, waist shot, and really you should stand like this, looking this way. You don't want to stand like this because then you're not really going to be looking at yourself. We want to kind of be looking this way, okay? And it would be better, this is why you probably need more tape than you think you do. Hopefully it won't fall off now. So this is what you're going to be doing. This is what you're going to be shooting your green screen waist shots as. You're going to want to get it as far away as possible. One thing is, you don't want to shoot portrait mode. You want to shoot landscape, right? Wide, like this. You don't want to ever shoot portrait mode. Almost never though, because I'm going to show you another thing you can do with this green screen in case you want to get a further shot than this. Because right now, this is basically the longest shot I can get, more or less a waist shot. I can't really get anything other than a waist shot with this unless you do something that I'm going to show you how to do right now. And it involves turning the green screen the other way. This is widthwise, and you'll want to use it widthwise usually for waist shots because you want to cover both sides, obviously. But there's something we can do, and I'm going to show you that now to get a further shot. So now I've hung it lengthwise. Now, as you can see, if I key it out right now on WeVideo, we've got a problem with these sides with the sides of the green screen. I've also, again, made it as taut as possible. So if we see any shadows, it's not going to be that good. So as you can see, probably if I get close here, the shadow underneath my arm is not going to look good. So if I move away from it, that shadow will not be nearly as bad. But how do we get rid of these bars? Secret. So as you can see, I've got a little bit longer of a shot than a waist shot. One of the problems here is it's portrait, which is ugly. See these black bars? Gross. If I go like this, my arms disappear, right? But if I stand here like this and I green screen it, oh, now these black bars have disappeared. I still need to make sure that I'm not moving my arms outside. So while I do have a background and it doesn't have those black bars, if I go like this, whoop, my arm gets cut off. So that's not good. But again, you have to fill the frame with the green screen. So what happens if you don't? Well, I'll show you. So this is a little bit longer, but what is the problem? This is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. Down here, it's not going to be keyed out. Now, this is only if you have WeVideo, because if you have a more powerful software editor and you can crop, that's excellent, because what you're going to be able to do is get a full-length shot, and I'll show you how to do that if you can crop. Now, if you notice, I've also got the green screen a little bit on the floor so I can kind of stand on it, and I'll be able to crop it completely, so I'll be able to get a true full-length shot, and I won't have to worry about the bottom of the screen. I should be able to just crop it out so that I have my full body in the shot. So now, I'm obviously, this is a full-length shot, and if I try to key it in WeVideo, it will look like this. Still, problems, right? Problems up here, problems over here, because it's not going to be keyed out because I can't crop. But if I bring this footage into something like DaVinci Resolve, or perhaps Kdenlive, which I don't know how to use, or Final Cut Pro, which is what I'm going to use, I can make it look like this. So now it's keyed and I can crop the sides much better, but I still need to make sure that I'm only going to be moving within the green screen, because if I move outside of the green screen, again, that's cropped off. So if I go like this, oh, my arm's getting cut off. If I go like this, my hand's cut off. Same over here. So I need to make sure that I'm standing within the green screen. Any movement that I do, I'm going to be within the green screen. And it's really hard to necessarily do. You need to make sure that you kind of look at the camera angle, because I've got the front-facing camera that I'm using, but also review your footage. After you shoot, don't just assume, okay, I've got it. Look at your footage, because if you're standing there and you're shooting and you're like, oh no, you're moving off screen and that's not going to be good. So you need to make sure you review your footage and you look at it, you review it, and you think, is this going to be good? Now hopefully I'm standing on this green screen. Hopefully I can get pretty much a full-length shot, all the way to the bottom of my feet. I should be able to do that in Final Cut. I'm not sure what this is going to look like because I haven't imported it and edited it yet, but this should look good. And again, this should be evenly lit, and if not, you're going to have problems. And with shadows, if I go like this, you see this shadow? That's probably not too good. If I key it in WeVideo, so this is in WeVideo maybe, but if I key it in something more powerful, you'll see that the more powerful software can actually do a better job with the keying, which is one of the reasons why, if you can, you probably should learn how to use DaVinci for home, because it's free, or if you can, get a copy of Kdenlive. Again, I haven't used it, or Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, or something that's more powerful that's going to help you a lot in your editing. Lots of tape so it doesn't fall down. That's the key, lots of tape. Another thing you should try to do is reuse your painter's tape. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So this is the same painter's tape that I used when it was sideways. I added a few more pieces, but you should try to reduce the amount of stuff that we use. So whenever you tape it up on the wall and then you take it down, try to take it down so you can reuse those pieces of tape. Just so you don't run out of your painter's tape, you're not using too much material. I'm always trying to think about reuse, reduce, recycle.